So, I want to talk to you about one of my little time management secrets today. And this is just something I developed over time. I honestly don't even know how I developed it, but at some point I realized how busy I was, and I didn't want to back down from all the stuff that I was getting done, but I also didn't want to be working around the clock and at 3 o'clock in the morning and all of those kind of things. And so I kind of stepped back and looked at how I managed things and clients and all that kind of stuff. And I came up with this simple task management blocking system that I use that I want to share with you today. And so a lot of people look at the things on their plate and they will make a to-do list. I never actually have a to-do list. In fact, I don't know that I've had a to-do list in years. I can't think of the last time I had a to-do list. When I have a project or I have a task that needs done, I create a project for it. And I'm not a project manager by trade. I don't have any PMP certifications. Doc, don't freak out on that one. But I manage a lot of things like a project. And that's just kind of how I started looking at it. So anytime I have something major on my plate, it goes into my projects list. And at any given time, I have at least a dozen, if not more, active projects that I'm working on. And so, like right now, I just counted before I shot this video, I have 18 active projects that I'm working on. Now, those projects are what I would call new stuff. Those are things that I am working on. They're new initiatives, or I'm redoing something, and it's sort of a big initiative on my plate. And so when I have things like that, I break them down into tasks. So I start with a project and I break projects down into tasks. Tasks go on my calendar. I sit down and I look at every single task and say, hey, how much time is this piece going to take? And I will allot that much time for it. Hey, this is 30 minutes, this is an hour, whatever it is. And I will put them physically on my calendar. And when I look at a project, I'll say, hey, I want this project done by April or whatever the date is. And so if that's going to happen, I need to break out these tasks over March, and I need to make sure that they're all done within March so that the project is done by April. So it's just really, really simple stuff. And so I may have 6 tasks under a project, and they may all be done on a different day of the week over maybe even different weeks over the course of March in order to get every single task done so that it is so the whole project is done on time. And so I'm doing that for, like I said, 18 projects at the moment. That doesn't include anything I've already systemized. So if I've systemized something like our podcast process, that process is systemized. How we reach out for guests, when we record, how we do the editing, how we do the posting, how we do the graphics. All that stuff is systemized. If it's something that's systemized in my life, it's actually not considered an active project. So the client work that I do, the podcast that we do, the book writing, these videos, all of these things like that are not active projects in my thing because they're already systemized. And once it's systemized, it already has a unique spot on my calendar, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever it may be. And that's just life now. And so the other things that are new initiatives are the projects that we're working on. Some of them we work through the project and then it ends and we have a product or something that comes out of it. And then some of them develop into a process like these videos where we have them, and I'm doing them at least 3 to 4 times a week is my goal to do a video like this. And so it just depends on what the thing is, whether it becomes an ongoing process integrated in the calendar or something else. And I always remove things. I don't just keep adding stuff to my calendar. I'll say, hey, I was going to do this stuff on Friday, but now I've got to move it and do it on Monday to make room for this. Because I don't want to work at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning or around the clock to get something done. I don't want to be overwhelmed. I truly have a lifestyle business where I'm running the business, it's all working, and I get to enjoy my family, my travel, and all those kind of things. And so that's the biggest piece of advice I can give you is run projects instead of just to-do lists if it requires it. Create tasks under your projects, and then take those tasks and drop them into your calendar. Physically put them in a spot on the calendar. And look, here's the other trick. If I'm going through the day and I realize a project is taking me longer than it should, I'll shift it to another day. Or guess what? If I'm going through and I'm like, look, I'm just not in the right mindset to work on this task today, I'll move it. I never sit down and say, I'm going to force myself to do this right now and get this done, because forcing myself to do it is better than coming up with the right product. That's not the way I work. I look at it and say, I'm not in the right headspace to do this. Let me move it because I want the best product out of this, not just a completion. I don't want to just say, I have checked the box and I've done this. I want the best thing I have. So anyway, that's my approach to managing and juggling all the things that I have. And until this January, I didn't have an assistant helping me. So I was doing it all by myself. Now I have an assistant project manager that can actually help me with a lot of this stuff. And I can say, hey, here's all the things that I shouldn't be doing that you can put on your plate, and we can figure that out. But until this January, I didn't have that. So think about that. There's a lot of stuff that I'm juggling, and I got it all done without driving myself crazy using this system that I just walked you through. If you have any questions about it, as always, you know how to reach me. We'll see you next time.